common sense would tell me that I am clearly not a great video reviewer on YouTube. As a matter of fact, this pretty much qualifies as a proving a point. So, I know y'all were probably expecting part 2 of this little mini-series that I was working on a couple of weeks back. I made the stupidest mistake of my life over the last few days, and I was running out of storage on my computer, so without looking at what exactly I was deleting off of my desktop, I emptied out my recycle bin to get some room back, and unfortunately I accidentally deleted the file that actually housed the second review of this One Last Ride miniseries, which was the Kenner's Batman Returns Batmissile Batmobile. So I've tried multiple third-party system restorers and file finders, and to no prevail. And that kind of blows. But hey, I'm just letting you know now. So if you were wondering where's part 2, why did part 3 come up before part 2, well, now you know. So now I will go drown my head in the toilet of shame. So there you go. Enjoy the review. So it wouldn't be for quite some time until Warner Brothers would reboot the Batman franchise after the failure that was Joe Schumacher's line, which was none other than Batman Forever, which I did actually enjoy, and Batman and Robin, which I was like, meh, it was okay. But I was a child back then. I didn't understand the value of great things yet. But in 2005, we had Batman Begins, which would be called the Dark Knight Trilogy as the movies progressed and got better, and better. So, yes, it was directed by Chris Nolan, which is a master at films. I mean, wow, just this guy, everything he touches turns to gold. It's magnificent. Unlike Michael Bay, everything he touches turns into explosions. But that being said, this is what Mattel had to offer us. Mattel would be picking up pretty much the DC license after Kenner was dropped. What you're seeing here is another item that I have sold off that, in all honesty, I've never reviewed on this channel, so that's why you're seeing this video. Had I reviewed this long ago, I would have not done this video today, because there's like no point. I mean, yes, I've had this thing since its release, back in 2005. As a matter of fact, as you can tell by the colors, this is the first release. It would not be until later on that another assortment of this would come out with the proper colors from the film of the tumbler being in black with gold trimming for the pipes. So, you know, big whoop. This one's got some nice detail on it, which you probably can't see because of the dust. Maybe you can make it out. There's like streak markings going across the whole entire body of this car, or tank, or tumbler, or Batmobile, whatever you want to call it, which looks awesome. I really do like it. It's very cool. The color, you know, I've dealt with it since 2005. I've had no reason to paint this thing over. What's the point? As a matter of fact, if I did do that now, I'd probably lose some money because the person that this is going to would probably get freaking pissed off at me. But anyway, still, this thing is awesome. It is a behemoth. It is a massive tank. Is it black? No. Does it come in black? Yes, for the second release. But still, a nice car, no matter whichever way you see it. Wow, this thing is like very cool. Very cool. The way that this was actually designed, watching those behind the scenes of how these things are done, the creation of the tumbler or the Batmobile, and, you know, just to stay accurate from this being a toy review, it was called on the product itself. The box actually said Electronic Batmobile, not Tumbler, okay? It was not called the Tumbler, it was called the Batmobile. So, you know, it is Batman, So, you know, it's got to be a car. It's got to be called a Batmobile. So it's called the Batmobile. But I wish people would stop calling it damn Tumbler. Call it the Batmobile. It's a fucking Batmobile. It's a tank. It's a tank Batmobile. It's very futuristic looking. It's modern day meets future. It's cool. And yes, this thing does have some features. But first of all, I'll go ahead and show you the opening. So, unlike the movie, you know how it actually separates from the movie. When the door opens, this slides down and this piece slides back. This is actually one single piece because it's a toy. Duh. So, flip it up. As you can see, Batman's already in there. It's not perfect. I'm not going to talk about the figure anyway. This figure is just used for demonstration. And yes, he will be going with this Batmobile. So, there's not going to be a review of this Batman figure. Sad. But you know what? There's plenty of Batman figures of this same one that's been reviewed on YouTube. Just go look somebody's up, okay? I couldn't say any better myself. So, flipping this back up again since it came down, you can see that it's very open. There's a seat back here. There's actually a joystick. 2 of them. I guess this is in lieu of some kind of like wheel design for, you know, controlling the car. And it moves, which is kind of weird, and it's not explained in this toy why it does that. But still, you see how high this is for his bat ears. You think maybe this door wouldn't close all the way, but actually it does. And it does lock into place. So unlike the Bat Missile that made me look like a liar, this is not going anywhere, as you can see. The wheels are actually rubber, which is nice. You don't see that nowadays because, you know, rubber over time just wears out on toys. But this has held up since 2005, people. I'll say that again. 2005. So, that is nice. The way that these are actually designed to stay in great condition, especially for being displayed for a long time. You can tell by all the dust on this thing. The design of this thing is superb. I really do love it. And I do love the electronics on this thing, which, of course, we're going to get right to it. So, turning this from off and flipping it to on, which I'm trying to remember which one's actually on. One of these is actually a trial button, and the other one is actually the full version. So, this has got to be the full version, I think. So, flipping it to that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to press this middle button right here, and this should expose the missiles over here, which is definitely not accurate to the film. As you can see, this is just for kids play. So there's these buttons right here on both of these, and they do fire off, but it's very weak. Bear with me for just 1 second. And get that back in real quickly. So there's that. I mean, they don't really fire. This is like terrible design here, unfortunately. The springs are just too weak. But in order to get it back in, close it like that. And there you go. You'll hear the sound one more time just to let you know. You can see down here, if I turn this light off, the headlights light up green. I love that. I don't care if it's accurate or not. That color is a beast. This thing is a beast. I love it. It is a bat. It's fucking awesome. So, once you close it, unfortunately, the headlights don't stay on. That's kind of a downer, but oh well, I can understand why. That's not all this thing does. Right here's another button. If I press the right one, hopefully I do. Nope, this one right here. So, pressing this one, as you can see down here, fires off lasers, which is strange. But they do light up pretty good. Kind of like a Christmas tree. That's very bright. Now, that being said, the last button over here, which I did press by accident because I can't remember order. Flip it around here. And there's the exhaust vent, which if I turn the light off one more time and press this button. Yeah, that's nice. As you can see, you get a jump start with the flames. And then, after a little time, they just start to slowly deteriorate in a way. I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, the flames actually, they just go from big to small when it's just driving at full force. So, get a quick jump start. See how big that is? And when it's driving, that's pretty much the power that you would get. So, that's still cool. Oh, and if you also hold down the button, the sound effects will keep going. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste your time. But other than that, that's it. This has no overplay value. And you know, unlike Kenner, there's really no chassis design underneath. So, oh well. Still a great toy, very heavy, definitely worth your money. If you can find the later release, which is in its accurate colors from the film, be my guest. Either way, you can't go wrong with this. I mean, if it really bugs you, just paint over it, okay? I'm sure there's professionals out there that can do it for you for a quick buck or two. But other than that, that's going to do it for this video review. So I'm done with this one, and until the next video review, this is Sonic Ranger signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you whenever you see me, but you will never see this or any of the other Batmobiles that I have reviewed in this series ever again.